My name is Raquel Rodriguez, and this is my literacy autobiography video. Before I was born, my parents came to the U.S. from Mexico, making my brothers and I first generation in the U.S. Now natives to San Antonio, Texas. Spanish was my first language, and it was easy to get by with back then, because we spent a lot of time visiting and staying with our family in Mexico. My mother taught us to read and write in Spanish at an early age, and my father pushed me to write stories and poetry in Spanish. But then I started school at Lamar Elementary here in San Antonio. As a child, I was very shy, especially because I was in a room full of students who understood and knew the English language. From pre-K to second grade, I was in a regular classroom where every now and then the teacher would take time aside to try and translate instruction. I managed to get by with good grades, but teachers often had parent-teacher meetings to tell my parents I needed to speak up, read more, and stop being shy even though I didn't know English well. Although I was a good student, by the time I got to second grade, I started to feel insecure, challenged, and in need of help. So my parents then told me to speak only English in the house to them so that it might help grasp better. It helped, but what helped the most was the new teacher and classroom I was moved to for the remainder of my elementary years, 3rd through 5th grade. I was moved into a bilingual classroom with a teacher I still remember and admire today, Mr. Ramos. Mr. Ramos was a great teacher, and he made it easy and fun to learn and understand English because he would blend Latino cultures with American culture using materials that were relatable. Most of his focus was on math and geography, but he would take the time to read us books that I still remember and really enjoyed. Books such as Too Many Tamales, In My Family or En Mi Familia, Miss Nelson is Missing, and the Goosebumps series. Later, as I went on to high school, I strengthened my literacy skills the most in an English class where my teacher, Miss Nitu, pushed me to write poetry and gave me books I love reading. Books by Edgar Allan Poe and poems by Robert Frost. Teachers such as the one I mentioned inspired me to become an ESL teacher today because of the experience I had with them as they helped me strengthen my literacy skills by finding, building, and keeping a connection with me as an individual in the classroom.